Good morning. This is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel as I continue on my part series. The week that was college football history and review, the 1963 college football season. Close to the end of the season, a recap of the season as a whole. So I'm going to do is talk about the games that were played on December 7th, December 14th, and then get into the conference standings, and then the bowl season, all statistics, have you won the Heisman, All-American team, and that'll be it. So let's get into it. So we're gonna start with Air Force beating Colorado 17 to 14. Air Force beating Colorado 17 to 14. Gator Bowl bid was extended to Falcons after they came from behind twice to defeat Colorado. Trailing 14-10 with 13 minutes left to play, Falcon quarterback Terry Isaacson hit 4 passes and 80-yard drive, last completion for 13-yard touchdown to halfback Paul Wargo. A long way, Isaacson connected with end Fritz Greenlee on 14 and 16-yard passes to convert third downs and end Jim Greff for 14 yards to overcome a 4th and 7 at the Buffalo 27-yard line. Earlier in second half, Colorado fullback Noble Milton played key touchdown role. Buffalo's end Stan Irvine's fumble recovered Air Force halfback Dick Zonardo's bobble allowed Milton's immediate 30 yards touchdown run in the third quarter. Early in the fourth quarter, Milton put Colorado ahead 14-10 with 3-yard run at end of 68-yard march that was keyed by quarterback Frank Cesarek's 37-yard pass and Milton's 25-yard sprint. Pittsburgh, number 14 in the country, beat Penn State by 1 point, 22 to 21. Seesaw In-State Classic was turned when Pitt quarterback Fred Mazarek shrugged off painful hip injury to attempt to limp off bench at outset at fourth quarter to cap 77-yard drive with winning 17-yard touchdown run. Mazarek, who had 105 yards passing on 7 of 15 passing, including 142 yards rushing on 23 carries, gained 247 yards total offense to help overcome 2 touchdown passes by the Nittany Lions. Quarterback Pete List. Mount Nitt found fullback Ed Stuckrad blocked first quarter punt to poise List for a brilliant fourth down fake and counter handoff to him halfback Gary Klingen Smith, who went untouched for a 9-yard touchdown. Pitt trailed 7-6 early in the second quarter, 14-12 at halftime because of the touchdown runs by halfback Paul Martha, fullback Rick Leeson. Panthers failed on 2-point passes. Pitt got the lead again with a 15-14 lead on kicker Leeson's 35-yard field goal in the third quarter. But Penn State came right back with a 75-yard drive, keyed by halfback Chris Reber's 30-yard run on the same scissors play that scored in the first quarter. And Don came 99 yards, 4 catches and a touchdown. Caught this touchdown pass for Penn State. Pittsburgh now trailed 21-15. So Mazarek became key man in winning drive in the fourth quarter as he made first downs with both pass and run. Finally flew through air at goal line to complete his 17-yard touchdown scramble. Penn State halfback kicker Ron Coates missed potential winning 37-yard field goal by less than a foot to left of post with 134 left. Now, although there was some bowl talk, every bowl promoter was either committed already or somehow was unimpressed with Panthers' record. Now, it clearly caused Pitt to have had its last game delayed 2 weeks, and Panthers were left at home despite final AP ranking of number 4. Now, the game of the year was on December 7, 1963. This is what I'm talking about, the games that I'm talking about with Penn State and Pittsburgh and Air Force of Colorado. The game of the year was between Navy, number 2 team in the country, and Army in Philadelphia. That was the game of the year. So the game was originally canceled due to presidential assassination, but widow Mrs. Jacqueline Kennedy made special request that it be played. Fullback Pat Donnelly scored He touchdowns last at a 91-yard drive that gave Navy a 21-7 lead with less than 11 minutes left, and Tars appeared on their way to Cotton Bowl. But unsung Army quarterback Riley Stickway ignored his passing offense and created all infantry 52-yard touchdown march and added a 2-point run. Now Stickway's touchdown run was shown by CBS as television's first ever instant replay. Now back to live action. Stickway immediately fell on kicker Dick Hates' perfect onside kickoff at the Middy's 49-yard line. The Cadets were in business, so after 5 meticulous runs and 11-yard pass to wingback Don Parcells, Army used its last timeout with ball at the 7-yard line and 1:38 left. So after 2 runs to 4-yard line with 100,000 fans in uproar, referee called time to aid in Army's signal calling. Stickway made mistake of rehuddling his team, so while unaware the clock was running, Cadets halfback Ken Waldrop's plunge went to 2-yard line, but time expired with Stickway hopelessly pleading for quiet so Army could run a 4th down play. No number 2 Navy won its 5th in a row over Army, but in barely surviving Middies might have left behind some of their zest for upcoming Cotton Bowl showdown with number 1 Texas. So that concludes a look at that. Short look at the games that were played on December 7th, 1963. Let's look at the final AP poll as of December 9th. Texas was number 1, Navy number 2, Illinois number 3, Pittsburgh number 4, number 5 was Auburn, number 6 was Nebraska, number 7 Mississippi, number 8 Alabama, number 9 Michigan State, and number 10 Oklahoma. Now, let's get into the game that was played. The lone game that stood out was December 14th, 1963, where number 8 Alabama beat Miami 17-12. So Crimson Tide played without star quarterback Joe Namath, who had been suspended by Coach Bear Bryant for having broken training rules. Alabama never trailed, but Tide had to sweat out its victory under hail of aerial bullets from Miami Hurricanes quarterback George Myra. Speedy halfback Gary Martin exploded 100 yards to score on opening kickoff as Bama created speedy envelope of blocks that freed Martin up the left sideline. Tide defensive back Hudson Harris soon recovered, fumbled at Hurricanes 13-yard line, and halfback Benny Nelson powered over for 1-yard touchdown and quick 14-0 lead. Another fumble recovery led to kicker Tim Davis's 35-yard field goal in the second quarter, so Bama led 17-0 at halftime. But Miami had run ball well in the first half, but turned its second half offense completely over to Myra's throwing in his last collegiate game. Now Myra riddled Bama's secondary to whip up 4 drives. Tide defensive tackle Steve Wright spilled Canes halfback Russell Smith for a 10-yard loss on 4th and goal from 4-yard line. Another trip died at Alabama 21-yard line, but in fourth quarter Myra hit wingback Nick Spinelli for a 9-yard touchdown, and fullback Pete Banaszak blasted over for a touchdown. Last chance for win, and retirement coach Andy Gustafson farewell died when Tide linebacker Jackie Sherrill made interception at his 29-yard line by leapfrogging Baylor's Don Troll. Myra ended with season total offensive crown and Tide to date career completion mark held by Loyola of California's Don Klosterman. Now let's look at the 1963 conference standings that concludes the regular season. Recap of the 1963 college football season. Let's look at the 1963 conference standings. Ivy League was won by like a tie between Dartmouth and Princeton. It looked like Dartmouth won the conference of Ivy League. The conference was in favor of Dartmouth. Atlantic Coast was North Carolina at 6-1. Southern Conference was Virginia Tech was 5-0. Southeastern was Mississippi 5-0-1. Big Ten, Illinois 5-1-1. Mid-American, Ohio 5-1. Big 8, Nebraska 7-0. Missouri Valley 3-1. Southwest Conference was won by Texas 7-0. Western Athletic, Nebraska 3-1, and AAW Washington 4-1. The 1963 bowl season. Here we go. The bowl games. Blue Bonnet Bowl, December 21st. Baylor beat Louisiana State 14-7. SEC's top rushing team, LSU, opened with impressive touchdown drive, cashed in by halfback Buddy Soker. Sofa, Sofka. But then, momentum turned toward Butler Baylor. Even though Bears were halted at LSU 19-26-7 and 10-yard line, they never grew frustrated. Stunningly, Baylor held Bayou Bengals ground game to no first downs and games last 55 minutes. Baylor Air Ace quarterback Don Troll completed 26 of 37 for 255 yards and a touchdown. Finally, in fourth quarter, undersized Bears and James Ingram got loose for two touchdown passes from Troll, and Bears earned hard-earned win. By game's end, Baylor had built amazing 27-4 edge in first downs. Liberty Bowl, December 21st, Mississippi State beat North Carolina State 16-12. Mississippi State overcame large number of penalties, totaling 122 yards to edge Wolfpack in Philadelphia, where only 8,309 spectators risked the frostbite to witness the game. Small crowds signaled end of late December Ice Bowls for a while. The Liberty Bowl was headed south to Memphis. Maroons built 16-6 halftime lead on touchdowns by Tommy Eamon on 11-yard punt, block touchdown return. Quarterback Sonny Fisher's run after short North Carolina State punt. So outstanding Bulldog guard kicker Justin Cannell bombed 43-yard field goal into stiff 17 miles per hour wind. Wolfpack had many second half chances but could convert only to quarterback Jim Rossi's 5-yard touchdown. Passed it in Ray Barlow with 2:48 left. So it was Barlow's fifth reception of the season, but 4 went for touchdowns. Now, Bulldogs burly fullback Hoyle Granger rushed for 94 yards on 13 carries. The Gator Bowl, December 28th. North Carolina shut out Air Force 35-0. North Carolina's first ever bowl victory projected losing halfback Cam Willard into national spotlight with MVP rushing effort for 94 yards on 18 carries and a touchdown for Tar Heels. Game was rated even beforehand, but Air Force was outclassed from outset. Willard rumbled 51 yards of team's 77 yards voyage to his 1-yard run for Carolina touchdown in the first quarter. Before other Heels followed in touchdown possession, quarterback Junior Edge and Joe Robinson, fullback Eddie Kelsler, and sub-quarterback Gary Black. Hills' two quarterbacks both were sharp with their passes as Edge hit 5 of 9 for 42 yards and Black was perfect 6 for 6, 71 yards. A touchdown throw to Robinson that made it 20-0 at halftime. Senior linebacker Dave Six was Falcons' only bright spot, winning top lineman award with his sideline-to-sideline tackling. Air Force was forced to its aerial attack and suffered 5 interceptions when the nation's offensive leader, quarterback Terry Isaacson, was hemmed in on runs he tried from shotgun formation. Sun Bowl, December 31st, Oregon beat Southern Methodist 21-14. Sun Bowl's previous 28-year history was that of springboard for smaller but successful programs. Future major level teams in their formative stages that won bowls in El Paso included Cincinnati, Louisville, New Mexico, Texas Tech, Tulsa, Utah, and West Virginia. But in 1963, the committee looked for the first time to establish major conferences for its matchup. In this leap forward, Sun Bowl was anxious to ensure presumed ticket sales of security. Bypassing Pittsburgh with 9-1 record and number 4 ranking attacked Texas-based team and opted for SMU, only second team ever to enter bowl with a losing record. Virginia Tech at 3-4-3 also had played in Sun Bowl and was lost to Cincinnati in 1947. To make matters worse for so-so Mustangs, several players came down with intestinal flu. Left foot's behind halfback Dennis Keller, 9-yard touchdown run. Quarterback Bob Berry's pair of touchdown passes built 21-0 lead at halftime. SMU made nice comeback with speedy halfback John Roderick's 2 fourth-quarter touchdown pass reception. SMU, which outgained Oregon 377 yards to 319 yards, finally succumbed when its onside kickoff rolled out of bounds with 24 seconds to play. In the Orange Bowl, Nebraska beat Auburn 13-7. On game's second scrimmage play, Nebraska quarterback Dennis Claridge, who had 108 yards rushing, faked left, went right behind Thunder's block of All-American guard Bob Brown, broke down right sideline for a 68-yard touchdown. At that time, Claridge's run gave him new Orange Bowl distance record, exceeding by 1-yard run of Ole Miss Ned Peters in 1936. in Tony Jeter began his marvelous defensive play for Cornhuskers on first series by Auburn as he dumped quarterback Jimmy Seidel for 3-yard loss to force punt. Nebraska's second possession went 47 yards to kick it in. Kicker Dave Thiessen, 31-yard field goal to 10-0 lead in the fewer than 10 minutes after the opening kickoff. Plainsman halfback George Rose fumbled punter Claridge's punt on first play of second quarter, and Thiessen's added 36-yard field goal. To date, distance record for Orange Bowl Huskers were on their way to 13 halftime lead and upset win. Seidel refired Auburn in second half, scoring on 13-yard sweep out of shotgun formation at end of 71-yard drive late in the third quarter. Key play of drive was Seidel's 28-yard hour to end Bucky Wade. Tigers were in position to win with 1:36 left. After Seidel completed 5 passes, but Seidel's toss on 4th and 4 from 11-yard line for halfback Doc Griffith was broken up at goal line by Nebraska goal guard linebacker John Kirby, fullback defensive back Bruce Smith. Sugar Bowl. Alabama beat Mississippi 12-7. Sugar Bowl 1964 is best known for most snowfall, 4 inches piled on sideline. The city of New Orleans in the 20th century, a Crimson Tide's big name player who sat out. Alabama quarterback Joe Namath didn't play after having been suspended by coach Bear Bryant in mid-December. Alabama was well guided by sophomore quarterback Steve Sloan, but managed only 194-yard total offense, coming through to date bowl record 4 field goals. However, was Bama's senior kicker Tim Davis, who made 31, 46, 22, and 48-yard field goal. Davis' last 3-point kick also set bowl record for distance at that time. Alabama's fierce defense held Rebels completely without a single first down in the first half, forced 6 lost fumbles during game. Trailer 9-0 at halftime. Ole Miss came to life. Rebels went 74 yards in the fourth quarter to wingback Larry Smith's 5-yard touchdown catch from quarterback Harry Lee Dunn. Game's dying moments saw a apparent touchdown catch by Rebels end Allen Brown being ruled as beyond end zone back line. Dunn's last play sweep was stopped at 2-yard line by alert Alabama defense. Next, Cotton Bowl, Texas beat Navy 28-6. Nobody in their right mind expected Texas quarterback Duke Carlisle to outgame Roger Staubach of Navy with his passes contrary to history's perception. He didn't, but clever Carlisle made his throws count, 7 completions for 213 yards, or 30.4 yards every time he connected with Longhorns receivers. On Game 6 play, Carlisle hit wingback Phil Harris with 58-yard touchdown as Midee's star fullback defensive back Pat Donnelly stumbled in his pass coverage. Harris caught another Carlisle touchdown of 63 yards, and Carlisle passed for 57 yards on 75 yards drive late in the third quarter for an insurmountable 20-0 lead. For his part, Staubach didn't disappoint, setting the Cotton Bowl record for completions. Passing yards were 21 out of 31 for 228 yards. Staubach ran for Lone Midee's touchdown, but was so harassed by a dominating Steelers defense that Staubach's usual brilliant running ended up boxed in for net of 41 yards, minus 41 yards. Texas defensive standouts were tackle Scott Appleton, linebacker Tommy Novus. Overall defense fenced in Midee's for minus 14-yard rushing. For most fans, other than those inside Lone Star State, it was the satisfying battle of top teams that quickly lost its fizz in early game domination by the Longhorns. And finally, in the Rose Bowl, Illinois beat Washington 17-7. That's hard-hitting Illinois defense was hallmark of 50th Rose Bowl Classic. Washington lost quarterback Bill Douglas with dislocated knee on first drive that died at Illinois 14-yard line. Huskies, first team ever in Rose Bowl with 4 losses, managed 7-0 lead in the second quarter. The fumble recovery at Illinois 27-yard line set up halfback Dave Kopay's 7-yard pitch-out run for a score. Late second quarter fumble recovery at Huskies 15-yard line got Illinois back in the game as center kicker Jim Plankenhorn drilled 32-yard field goal. Inspired by second-half defense brought Illinois 2 touchdowns, each set up by interception from ace defensive back George Donnelly. Halfback Jim Warren, fullback Jim Grabowski voted MVP thanks to his 125-yard rushing and 23 carries. Each scored a touchdown run. So watch this last threat, engineered by sub-quarterback Bill Seiler, was snuffed by interception by big center linebacker Dick Butkus, considered by many observers to be the greatest linebacker in college football history. 1963 top performance formula. That includes look at the bowl season, look at the top performance formula for 1963 was Texas. 1963 top performance record, number 1 was Mississippi State. The top conference for the odd conference records for 1963, the Southeastern Conference, 25, 10, and 1. Had a 2-3 bowl record. Percentage was 7.083. 1963 individual statistical leaders. The rushing yards was in favor of Dave Cassinelli of Memphis State. Dave Cassinelli led the nation in attempts with 219 and rushing yards with 1,016. Passing yards was Don Troll of Baylor, 174 completions, 308 attempts, 2,157 yards with a 56.5 percentage. Receiving yards was in favor of Baylor, Larry Elkins, who caught 70 passes for 873 yards. Now let's look at the All-American team for 1963. At N, Vern Burke, Oregon State; Lawrence Elkins, Baylor. Tackles, Scott Appleton of Texas; Carl Eller, Minnesota; guard Bob Brown, Nebraska; Rick Redmond, Washington. The center was Dick Butkus, Illinois. On the backfield had Roger Staubach at Navy, Sherman Lewis from Michigan State, Gale Sayers, Kansas; Paul Martha, Pittsburgh; Jim Grissom of Oklahoma. Now let's got the other All-American choices. At N, Jim Kelly, Notre Dame; Bob Lacey, North Carolina; Willie Martin, Georgia Tech; Dave Parks, Texas. Tackle, Ernie Orgetti, Pittsburgh; Ken Cordes, Louisville; Harry, pronounce his name, Harry School, Memphis State. Look at the guards: Damon Bain, Southern California; Steve DeLong, Tennessee; Mike Riley of Iowa; Herschel Turner of Kentucky. Center, Ken Dill, Mississippi. Backfield: Billy Lothridge, Georgia Tech; Jimmy Seidel, Auburn; Don Troll, Baylor; Tommy Ford, Texas; Mel Winfro, Oregon; Jay Wilkerson, Duke; Tommy Crutcher, Texas Christian; Tom Vaughn of Iowa State. 1963 Heisman Trophy vote. Roger Staubach, junior quarterback of Navy, won the Heisman Trophy with 1,860. Billy Lothridge, senior quarterback of Georgia Tech, 504 votes. Sherman Lewis, senior halfback, Michigan State, 369 votes. Don Troll, senior quarterback, Baylor, 253 votes. Scott Appleton, senior tackle, Texas, 194 votes. Dick Butkus, junior center linebacker, Illinois, 172 votes. So Roger Staubach won the Heisman with 1,860 votes. Other major awards that were won in the 1963 college football season: Roger Staubach won the Maxwell Award, Outland Award for the lineman. Scott Appleton, Roger Staubach won Walter Camp Award. Newt Rodney for the lineman. Dick Butkus, and the AFCA Coach of the Year was in favor of Darryl Roy. So that concludes a look at college football history and review, the 1963 college football season, the week that was. That concludes a look at the games that were played throughout the whole entire 1963 season. Hope you enjoyed the recap. Whenever you watch it, these videos, you'll see it. You can subscribe to the channel. Like, comment, do whatever you can, support the channel. Tomorrow I'll be starting the new season, looking at the overview of the 1964 college football season, including week 1 of the games that were played during that first week of the 1964 season. So I'll be looking at the overview, where it took place, where it stood out, and then go over everything else before I talk about the week that was in week 1 of the 1964 college football season. Please like and subscribe and comment on the channel. This is Rashad Mitchell. Until then, talk to you tomorrow.